One of the things students like to do when they start, developing their polygon models is, of course, coloring them. So if I were to apply, like, say, a red to the overall object here, go to assign new material. I want it kind of shiny, so I'm going to assign it blend. And underneath the channel box, I'm going to call the, I'm an attribute editor. Now, if you don't see the attributes for the color, you can right click over your selected object and go to material attributes, and it'll bring you right to this view here. I'm going to call this one helmet red, or helmet color, whatever you want to call it, helmet color. And then I'm going to make this color, one of my favorite colors is red and black. There we go. Blood red. Now you notice the model itself is changing color, however this one is not. The high polygon version is not changing, so we can change that. In order to mirror this object, just delete that piece. Once I have my shading applied to this low polygon model, I'm going to go through the same process of creating a smooth proxy or subdivision proxy, or a high resolution preview, or a high resolution or high poly model of this one here, just like we did before. But first I'm going to apply colors that I want. So I'm going to probably make this kind of like a, like a dark gray or dark black. Actually, I'll probably just make it black and create a transparent shading. I'll show you how to do that. Once I select all the items that I want to apply the shade to, I just right click, go to assign new material, and I'm going to want this one shinier than the material that makes up the helmet, so I'm going to click Phong, set my color to black. And if you see right here where transparency, the setting underneath color, if I click that and move it to the right, you'll see I'll make it I want it semi-transparent. I don't want it completely invisible, so a good 75% should do. Right click, hit object mode. There you go, that looks pretty good. Now this intersection here, because there's no lights active in this scene, I don't want to create this just a hair darker than it currently is. So I'm going to select all the faces in here, give it a slightly darker tone. I'm going to have to rotate the faces here and make sure I select the right pieces. Alright, everything looks like it's selected okay, so I'm going to right click over it and apply another shader. Assign new material, blend, select red, and then just make it a hair darker. There we go. I suppose I could have done that, or I suppose I could have done the same thing for this little rim around the edge, but I'll just leave it for now. I think you get the idea. So viewing it, looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select the object, go through the process of creating a, high poly version. So let's go through the same process: mesh, smooth poly, subdivision proxy. The settings from the last time you did this should still be available unless you reset it, but should have division levels set for 2, mirror behavior set for none, and then of course the subdivision proxy shader set to keep. So I'm going to hit smooth and then move my low poly mesh to the side, and now you see we have a high resolution model to the left and a low polygon model to the right, but you see now it has all of the attributes that we applied to our low polygon mesh. So if you want extra credit, feel free to play around with those options, but That's the only real way you'll learn is by messing around with a model. But before you go about doing anything like this, make sure you save your figures consistently, because you never know if you're going to screw it up so bad that you can't repair it, in which case you'll have to go back and, clean things up or fix things.